All right, folks, we are up to fly number 19 of 21 from Mike Valla's Tying the Founding Flies. This one is the Western Coachman. Now, it was created by Buz Buszek of Visalia, California, sometime in the 1930s. And reading about it in Valla's Founding Flies, he talks about uncovering a letter that Buz wrote to Ray Bergman, and in that unpublished, undated letter, he mentioned that one season, this fly caught him 1,700 trout. Now, I don't think I've caught 1,700 trout in my life. Certainly haven't even approached that in one season, but it does speak to how effective this pattern can be, and Buszek did say that this was pretty much his signature fly. Now, there's no exotic materials, and it is a pretty quick and simple tie, and I think y'all are gonna like it. So there it is in the vise, a Western Coachman. Now, quick critique of this one, I think that brown hackle up front, I put it on a little too thick. That was 2 wraps. We'll try this one with just 1 wrap, see how that looks. Sizes for this are 10 to 14. I'm going with a size 12. That's a 1 extra long barbless wet fly hook and some black thread, whatever you like to tie with. This is a 74 denier. I'm going to catch it in the middle, bring it back here to the bend of the hook. And the tail, golden pheasant tippets. Jim, you're going to love this one. So what I do with these, I leave the feather and just grab the tips, reach in there with my scissors and snip off 8 or 10. Let's see, that should work right there. Now you can grab the main part of the feather and the tips should stay aligned. And it's a pretty long tail. I want both bars showing if I can. I think we can. So let's catch this one in right there. A few wraps going back. All right, I think that's going to be just fine. Now we'll go ahead and bury these, take our thread up somewhere close to the front. Now we're going to catch in a small wire. And Valla said use gold. I didn't have a gold and small, so I'm using a copper, which is going to be just fine because it's not really for segmentation, it's just to strengthen up this body. So go ahead and bring that to the back. And now we can park our thread up here in the middle of the body. And 2 or 3 strands of peacock herl. So this is 3 strands. Those are the tips right there that are pretty brittle. So I'm going to go a couple inches up and catch it in. And you certainly don't need 3 here, but it's not a bad idea to use 3. It will give you a little bit thicker of a body. And also, if any of them break, you still got a couple. So you'll see I've left my thread right there in the middle. I'm not going to really cord these up. You could, but then you risk, breaking 1 or 2 of them. So I'm just going to wrap them up right there. And with that thread in the middle, I'm going to use that to hold these together as I wrap up in case they start spreading out on you. All right, now that's probably far enough. You don't want to go too far because we do have 2 components going on up front. So let's catch these off with 2 or 3 wraps. And I'm going to need to snip these because these stems are getting pretty thick by now. Now I'm just going to counter wrap this wire. 4 or 5 turns up here. It's probably not going to mat them down because it's a pretty thin wire, but it will make the fly a little more durable. Now after you've secured that, go ahead and helicopter it off. Now for the collar hackle, just a Coachman brown. This is hen. If you don't have hen and want to use a rooster, just get some of the webby feathers. Some of the ones, toward the bottom of your cape or your saddle, and they should be just fine. The one in Valla's book looks like he did use a rooster, but I'm going to go with this hen. And again, let's see what 1 full wrap is going to do for us. I just don't think that's going to be enough. So I'm going to go, let's try 1.5. Let's catch this off at the bottom down here. Okay, this is significantly fewer than the one I had in the vise at the beginning, but after we push them back, we'll see what it looks like. So go ahead and sweep these back a little bit. I've got a couple of stubs going forward right there that I don't really like. Okay, I think that's going to be enough. But let's go ahead and take care of these while I can. Now just take some white deer hair, belly hair or any of the white hair, could be from the inside of the deer's legs. Go ahead and put that in our stacker. And it's not a real big tuft, so we'll see. That might even be too much, I don't know. Yeah, it might be a little bit. What I'll do, grab the tips and then just try to thin it out. Just a few hairs here. Okay, that should work right there. Let's catch it in a little bit past the bend of the hook. So what I'll do here, I'm going to pinch the hairs and the hook, cord my thread up a little bit with counterclockwise spin so I can go immediately into a tight wrap. Now it's going to flare up front. Not much you can do about that. This hair is fairly hollow. And what you might want to do, you could put a wrap or two in between these just to really zigzag it through there, kind of bind it in. Now what I will do on a fly like this, before I let go with my material hand, because that wing might spring back up, I'll just reach in here and try to start trimming these before I let go of the back part of the wing. Okay, well that didn't flare up too much, so we're in good shape right here, but we do need to trim a little bit more up front or else our head will be bigger than we want it. Okay, now just pull everything back, take your thread back up and then work on a big head. Now it's a wet fly or semi-dry, but kind of a wet fly, so you can have a decent sized head on this thing if you want. Now one thing you can do, if that deer hair is flaring too much on you, you can just, spin your thread counterclockwise, try to let it flatten out, and then go back with a couple of medium to loose wraps to kind of lay it down. I don't necessarily need to on this one because it's laying about what I want. So let's go ahead and whip finish it. Now I don't think there's much cleanup on a fly like this, but let's take a look at this one. Is that brown hackle, is that enough? Yeah, I think it is. I like it a little bit better than the one in the beginning where I had 2 wraps. So I think we got a fishable fly. Now I appreciate you watching, everybody. Y'all take care and we'll see you next time.